Hi everybody, this is a spontaneous video of just exploring something. I did a short yesterday about this record and I was going, oh crap, it's awful. And I was just like, oh. Now, that doesn't happen to me with music. I have a wide range and taste, of music. I really do, as you all know. A lot of people, I've had comments saying, you listen to punk and classical? Yeah, and I can absorb and enjoy all kinds of music. But what is it about this band in particular that offends me so? Music doesn't normally offend me. Occasionally you hear lyrics in songs which are offensive, obviously. But music of all kinds, I accept. I accept it. Why can't I accept this? It made me think, well, what is it? I had all these comments. I got more dislikes on that short than I've ever had on any other video. Normally I get one or two. There's always one or two here and there, on a lot of videos. But what is it about this? I feel kind of something within me which is repelled by it, that kind of rejects it. What is it? When I put it on, I've tried this with Steely Dan so many times. It just sounds anemic to me, flaccid. It's almost like that. Yes, I think the thing is, everyone hears that. Oh, everyone knows they spent a long time in the studio and they did everything to perfection. But that, to me, if I heard this and I didn't know who it was, I'd just yes, it does nothing. It's like Billy Joel. It makes me want to throw up. This record actually made me feel like, oh God, get this off the turntable. I hated it. I just couldn't take it. I was just laughing. It was like, well, this is ridiculous. Putting the tracks on, going, oh, I can't stand this. Why? Why couldn't I stand it? There was something very, very pedestrian and mediocre about it to my ears. The vocals just, and the lyrics, to me, it's just banal. Now, I listen to some really banal stuff, as you know. I listen to punk stuff. That is banal. Some of it is just ridiculous. But this, I think, there's a sort of pretentiousness. There's something about it which offends me, and I don't understand. I'm just doing this off the cuff to almost try to find out what it is about this particular band that there's something in that sound. There's something in even the melodies. It's just the choruses and the vocals. It's just it's just there's something within me that makes me want to kind of go, yes, God. And I don't understand it. But maybe it's okay. Maybe that's okay. You can't like everything. Now, no one likes everything, but I can accept everything. I accept it. I go, okay, I can see. I start saying it. Even as I'm saying this, I can't say I see why people like this. I just don't see it. I can understand that, intellectually, people could get into it and go, oh, but I can appreciate it on an intellectual level. And maybe if it's been drilled into you over the radio for years and years, you've heard certain songs, they can become part of your consciousness, part of your life, part of your history. They may remind you of times, but I don't even want to hold it up anymore. There's just something about it. Maybe it's an American thing. Well, you don't have to be American, obviously, but there's something in this particular sound. Like Billy Joel, people for years, I never listened to Billy Joel. And I picked up a couple of albums a few years ago in a collection in a charity shop. I thought one day I'll try them. And I couldn't. As soon as I started playing it, I was like, this is awful. It's awful. It's just, I don't know, it's like it's mediocre. And it's so middle of the road. And maybe it just expresses something within me. I think it reflects something within me, I should say. That it's this thing where maybe it's a discontent. There's a dissatisfaction. There's something where I need more, and that doesn't do it. It's just music by numbers, and this is what this feels like. It's like music by numbers. It's sort of soulless, and I can listen to electronic music, and you might say, well, that's soulless because it doesn't inherently have a kind of warmth or a connection through lyrics or whatever. But there's still the pulsing of an analog synthesizer does more for me than that does. I don't. There's something. Now, like I say, maybe there's a dissatisfaction. I have noticed within myself a kind of dissatisfaction lately with music. Like I need something extra. I need something more. Now, of late, over the last few months, I've probably spent more time listening to, and I suppose what's happening is I'm not listening to music in the same way. I've noticed a change. I've explored more music from the 20s and 30s, more classical music, stuff which just kind of it's beyond what we're always hearing and what we always hear people talk about. These sorts of albums that we always hear people talk about. Well, one or two of those are slightly more obscure. It's just, I need more. And maybe that's what it is. It sums up to me a kind of hollowness within it. It's something that doesn't give me anything at all. And maybe I'm looking for something. I don't know if you have the same thing where I know, we all look for something. As I said before, you listen for a certain sound and as soon as you hear something that you like it. Now, I'm not saying that if you like Steely Dan, there's something wrong with you. There isn't, of course not. You'd probably argue quite coherently that there's something wrong with me. Just in this, there's so many things. Yeah. But perhaps it just sums up a dissatisfaction where I need more. Sometimes you can listen to music and you want something which is going to elevate and something which is going to kind of inspire. And something which is also you want something. I love listening to acid trance. I don't think I'm going to listen to acid trance every day. I don't get into like one genre and get stuck in it. But I know there's so many different kinds of music and moods which I can I can enter into and absorb and be part of when the mood takes me. So sometimes that is just bang on, but there's something about this music which is just never does it, and will never be able to do it. It will never be able to scratch that itch, to like fill that void, to give me that extra something. It's strange. There's a sort of emptiness about it. No, that's just for me. I'm sure, I know there are people who I respect and regard their opinions and their musical taste very highly indeed, who really like Steely Dan. Great. I just can't do it. So for me, there's something, then I say about looking for something extra. I'm sorry if this is rambling. I'm just going off here because I'm sort of thinking about it for myself and unfortunately dragging you along with me. There's something, what are you listening out for? What do you listen for? What is it that sort of scratches that itch for you? There are a lot of people obviously who will listen to lots of different kinds of music, and fine. And that's good, and and we're all different, and we all have motivations and an underlying motivation when we put music on. It can just be simply we want something in the background while we're doing something else. It may be that we just love a particular record so much we must hear it again. I've got to hear that again. That is so good. And sometimes we're imagining times past and etc. etc. And there's all sorts of reasons why we do things. But have you got to a point ever in your life when you're listening and it's dissatisfying? It's somehow is not enough. I mean, I've found within myself of late these latent urges which have been there for a while. They're just sort of rising up. That music itself is not going to satisfy. I need to express something else. I need poetry. I need words. I need other things. I need art. I need other things. I need to apply myself creatively to other things. Now, the creators of this music, Fagan and Breck and all these people, applied themselves creatively. One could argue. And yet it doesn't connect with me at all. I think it's just summing up something about me at the moment within myself. So I'm probably going to leave it there. I've kind of rambled and yet sort of gone nowhere. That's the nature of these things. I mean, as Rob Walker will tell you, he'll be the first to say that my videos are full of monologues where I talk utter drivel. I'm quoting him. And he's probably right. Anyway, I'll leave it there. And that's it. Thank you.